Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. My name's Allie and this is Ohana Adventures. On today's vlog, I'm going to be talking about planning your Walt Disney World vacation and where you start. So if you are in the beginning stages of planning your Disney World vacation, you're gonna wanna watch this vlog. So hit that subscribe button and come along on this adventure. Been a little bit since I've done a sit and talk vlog. That's what I like to call these vlogs. It's been a little bit since I've talked about planning a Walt Disney World vacation and just giving you some of my top tips. So I decided I'd do a sit and talk vlog today and talk about where do you start with planning your Walt Disney World vacation. I do have some friends that are going to Walt Disney World for the first time with their kids, and that has inspired me to do this vlog to just kind of give you some simple tips of where do you even begin when you're planning a Disney World vacation. So before going through my 5 steps, I'm going to preface this by saying this is 2021. So I am giving you my tips on where to start planning your Walt Disney World vacation in 2021. So if you're watching this a year from now, obviously things with Disney change constantly, especially right now. We're just getting out of a pandemic. Some things aren't open yet. Fastpass isn't really being run yet. So much is changing. So I did want to preface that I am giving you my top tips for 2021. Another thing that I want to set the groundwork on is that for you and your family, it is important that you set realistic expectations. Every family is different, every kid is different, so that's kind of one thing that you're going to want to really get a good framework on. What are your expectations? Is your family able to do the rope drop to fireworks thing? Is your family more of a relaxed kind of family? Does your family really like to walk a lot? Do they not like to walk a lot? I mean, you just want to sit down and look at what type of family you have and set those realistic goals and realistic expectations for your vacation. Also, before you start planning, you're gonna wanna establish your budget. Everybody's budget is different. Do you have a lot of money to spend? Do you not want to spend a whole lot of money and you want this to be more like a budget vacation, or do you want to just go middle of the road? Your situation is very different from my situation, which is very different from Liz's situation, but either way, before you start planning anything, you're going to want to set your budget. And then the last thing before I get onto my 5 tips or my 5 steps, I would set up your account with the My Disney Experience app. And I'll show you some B-roll right here of what the My Disney Experience app is. Everything nowadays with Disney is done with this app, and it's done via your smartphone. You do your park reservations on it. You do your Fastpass reservations on it if Fastpass ever comes out. You can do your dining, you can check your tickets, you can check your Walt Disney World hotels. I mean, everything is done with this app. So if you do not have a My Disney Experience account yet, I highly suggest you set it up, and then you're going to want to add all the members of your party and make sure everything is linked. For the trip that Liz and I are taking in November, we already have our My Disney Experience app already set up, and all 3 of us, because it's me, Liz, and then California Liz is going to, we already have our My Disney Experience account all linked up so we can see each other, and it's very, very easy when we are in that vacation and planning mode. Okay, so once you have all that done, let's start with my 5 steps. So step 1, you're gonna wanna book your hotel. Now I'm specifically gonna talk about on-property hotels. There are so many options off-property, so many options on-property, but I'm gonna kind of focus on the on-property hotels because that's what I specialize in. And there are 3 levels of hotels. There's a value, there's a moderate, and there's a deluxe. Obviously the value hotels are gonna be cheaper on property, with the deluxe being the more expensive. I'm not gonna go into details about the specifics on the resorts and the hotels. Maybe I'll do another vlog on more specifics of that. But just for reference, Liz and I usually stay in deluxe because we do rent DVC points. I'll put a link up above of the vlog that I did of how to rent DVC points if you ever want to know what that is or what our process is. In November, we are staying at Old Key West. That is a deluxe resort, and we did also rent DVC points for that trip as well. So my suggestion when booking your hotel is you start about a year out. And I know everybody's like, oh my gosh, I have to start that far out to book my hotel or book my Disney World resort. Yes, Disney is one of those things that fills up pretty fast, especially the resorts. So I suggest doing it about a year out, especially if you're really specific with, I really need to stay at this resort, or I really need to stay at this price point. You're gonna wanna plan a year out. If you're not as specific and you're just like, whatever, maybe you don't need to do a year out, but I always like to do about a year out so I can get what I want for the price point that I want. One thing that I did want to mention is that there are different travel seasons for price points. So obviously Christmas is going to be more expensive. Your resort at Christmas is going to be more expensive versus maybe middle of January. So you're going to want to take a look at that. If price is a big deal to you, take a look at when the different travel seasons are, because you may be able to travel in a lesser expensive season. There's actually a really, really good website that details all the different travel seasons and the price points. It's mousesavers.com. I'll put a link down in the description down below so you can check it out and see what I mean by it's cheaper this time of year versus this time of year. They're really great and they have it all detailed. If you book your resort hotel 1 year out and all of a sudden 3 months later they come out with a deal, or Disney ends up coming out with a deal, you actually can take advantage of that deal. All you need to do is call Walt Disney World, say, hey, I already booked my hotel, but I see you have a deal, and they'll actually apply the discount or apply the deal that they have going on at a later time. Step number 2 is purchasing your tickets. And especially right now in 2021, it's important you purchase your tickets a little earlier because you're going to have to make park reservations. In the time of COVID, and I think for the foreseeable future with Disney World, you have to make park reservations for each day that you want to go into a park. So you got to make an Epcot reservation, a Hollywood Studios reservation, Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, and you can't do that until you have your park tickets purchased. So you're going to want to look and figure out, am I going to go 5 days to the park, 4 days to the park, 3 days to the park? And you're also going to want to figure out, am I going to want to get a park hopper ticket? Last time we went, I did not get a park hopper ticket. It's a lot cheaper if you do not get a park hopper ticket. But in November, I'm doing the park hopper this time. So every family is different, every touring style is different, and you need to figure out for you what works best. The reason why I do this as step number 2 is because of the park reservations. And the park reservations are tricky because Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studio park reservations fill up fairly quickly. Right now, Disney is limiting capacity. They are starting to lift that a little bit as the pandemic lifts. But I have noticed that Hollywood Studios is the one park that ends up filling up fairly quickly, probably because of the really popular ride there, Rise of the Resistance. That's the brand new ride. Everybody wants to ride it. So you're going to want to purchase your park tickets so you can get that park reservation, especially with those 2 parks booking fairly quickly. So I usually purchase my park tickets about 6 months out, give or take. You know, you don't really need to do it a year out like with your resort hotel, so about 6 months out. And then here's a pro tip for me. I never purchase my tickets directly through Disney. I always purchase them through an outside retailer. You can use Undercover Tourist, or I purchase them through Maple Leaf tickets. I save about 20 bucks, so I'm not saving like a huge amount, but 20 bucks is 20 bucks, and I will put a link to those 2 websites down below if you want to check them out. Step number 3 is your dining, more specifically your table service restaurants. So you're going to want to talk with your family, figure out what days you're going to be at the parks, where you're going to be, and you're going to want to decide, where do we want to eat. Now, prior to COVID, you would book your table service meals about 180 days out, which is 6 months out. Now it's 60 days out. I actually like the 60 days a little bit better. I felt like 180 days, that was a little much. 60 days is just fine. But it's actually very, very important that you get online, get on My Disney Experience app, get on that phone, whichever method you prefer, and you book right at 60 days out. And the reason I say that is if you have a little girl or a little boy who's like needs to eat at Cinderella's Royal Table, which is the restaurant right in the castle, that restaurant books so fast. Like, you literally have to be online right as your window opens to be able to get a reservation for that restaurant. Now, obviously not every restaurant is like that, but I highly suggest that at 60 days you put a reminder in your Google Calendar and you do it right away. Now, if you don't get the restaurant reservation that you really, really want, have no fear. People cancel all the time. Keep checking back. You'll probably get it. Also, if you don't get the time that you really want, say you wanted to eat at 5 but you ended up getting at 3, again, people cancel all the time. Keep checking back and you can always modify your reservation. So I do kind of want to mention quickly the Disney Dining Plan. That is a plan that you can purchase separately, and it's kind of like you're prepaying for your food. They are not doing it right now in 2021. I don't know if they're going to bring it back or not. I'm not really sure. A lot of people love prepaying for their food with the Disney Dining Plan. I want to tell you personally, I don't feel that it is actually a money saver. It's so much food. I don't normally eat like that, and every family is different, every eating style is different, so you need to kind of research it and figure out for yourself if that works for your family. But I'm just telling you, for me personally, I do not feel that it is a good deal. I feel that you actually end up spending more money versus what you eat. So, just my opinion. Step number 4 is you're going to want to plan your days. So you already have your park reservations, you already know what day you're gonna go to Epcot, Hollywood Studios, Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom. Now you're gonna wanna figure out what rides do you wanna ride? What shows do you wanna see? Do you wanna see the fireworks? Do you wanna see the cavalcades? I say cavalcades because right now in time of COVID, they do not have regular parades, but they have cavalcades. They're kind of like little mini parades, and they don't have them scheduled, and it's like, oh, surprise, here's a cavalcade. I actually really like them versus the parades. So you're gonna wanna take a look at your family and what their touring style is and figure out what rides do we have to ride, or what rides do we not really have to ride, so we're gonna wanna skip. And I say this because Disney is massive. Every single park is so massive, and there's so much to do and see. And remember when I said at the beginning of this vlog to set realistic expectations? I'm gonna circle back around on that. You are not going to be able to do everything. So you're gonna wanna sit down and say, these are our must-dos, these are our maybes, and these are our skips, because you just will not be able to do everything. If you go to Disney with the mindset that I have to do everything, you are gonna get so burnt out. You're gonna have kids that are crying. You're gonna have husbands that are like, this isn't vacation, we're just going. Set those realistic expectations and decide what are must-dos. It will be so much easier, and you will have so much more fun. I also want to mention that Disney is the type of vacation that you just can't wing it. I'm sure some of you out there are going, God, this just sounds like a lot of work. Why is this a vacation if I have to schedule every little thing? I have to schedule my table service. I have to schedule what park I'm going to. It just sounds like a lot of like nitpicking and scheduling. Yeah, I agree with you. You really do have to plan everything, but Disney is just not one of those types of vacations where you can just show up and wing it. If you are the type of person that you hate planning and you hate being on a schedule, I probably would tell you that maybe Disney is not the vacation for you. I wouldn't say that you have to plan every little thing. Like, I don't plan every little thing, but you do have to plan some things. If you're the type of person that you never want to have a reservation for a restaurant and you feel that you could just show up to a restaurant and be able to get a table, I'm gonna tell you this right now, you're not gonna be able to do that at Disney. Disney is just not one of those types of places that you can just relax and just kind of walk around and just wing it and just be able to do whatever that, you know, and decide what to do the day of. You really do have to have some sort of planning. So again, sit down, talk it amongst your family. Is that for you? Do you not mind doing the planning thing? Then I think you're gonna have a lot of fun at Disney. Step number 5, and I made this the last step because right now it's not happening, is booking Fastpasses. So in the time of COVID, they got rid of Fastpasses, and Fastpasses are a system where you can kind of pre-book your rides so you don't have to wait in line. I'm not gonna go into details. Maybe when FastPass comes back, which I do feel that the FastPass system will come back in some form or another. I don't know that it's gonna come back with how it was originally prior to COVID, but I do feel it will come back. Maybe I'll do another vlog on the details of the FastPass system. So I'm not gonna talk about details right now, but I did kind of wanna mention it as a step in planning your Walt Disney World vacation, because when it does come back, it's probably really important that you book those FastPasses in whatever form they end up coming back in. So that is it. Those are my 5 steps on how to start planning your Walt Disney World vacation. There are so many steps in between, but I didn't really want to make this vlog be like a whole entire hour long, because I'm sure you will get sick of hearing me talk. But these are kind of the highlights. Again, hopefully I'll do more vlogs about like the FastPass system when it comes back, about like the different levels of hotels, just kind of digging into that a little bit more. But I hope that you have found this vlog at least helpful to give you inspiration on where to start and where to begin. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to join our adventure family by hitting that subscribe button down below. I hope you're having a magical week and a magical weekend. And remember, adventure is out there, so bring out the magic in your life. See you real soon. Bye.